The MONSTERVERSE is the gift that keeps on giving, and oh boy did it give this time. Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire is a massive blockbuster that just broke the record for 2024's biggest box office opening weekend at just over $190 million worldwide and over $80 million domestically, even beating out this year's other massive blockbuster, Dune Part 2, and others like Ghostbusters and Kung Fu Panda 4. And I've just returned from the theater after seeing it for myself at the time of recording this, and let me just say that this movie is awesome. It's the equivalent of junk food. Sure, it's not the most prestigious and expensive gourmet meal, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't delicious, and that's the best metaphor I can come up with for this movie. Because sure, it's not the most deep-cut or emotionally mature piece of cinema dealing with intense themes and emotions, but that's not what it's trying to be. This movie is simply an epic in scope, fun experience that gets you excited and pumped up. So with all that being said, let's get into it. And spoiler warning, of course, if you haven't seen the movie yet, Godzilla x Kong has two names in the title, but make no mistake, this is definitely Kong's movie. We open up to Kong being chased by a pack of wolf-like titans through the Hollow Earth. This is where we get to see some of Kong's intellect come into play, as he has traps set up all over the place that these wolves fall into. Kong rips one in half like an absolute badass, and then proceeds to shower off the blood under a waterfall. Kong is so human-like in this movie. I truly love how we can literally see Kong learning in front of our eyes. This is also the only MonsterVerse movie that follows a Titan as the primary protagonist. The human characters were never this franchise's strong suit, and I think they finally realized this and instead shifted their focus to the Titans. And it definitely works. So Kong is lonely, and he's looking for someone like him. We even see him run towards what sounds like another one of his kind, only for it to be a frog-like kaiju that kind of mimics Kong's voice. Quick cut to Godzilla on the surface, and he's just kind of Earth's protector. He fights Scylla in Italy after he causes a bunch of havoc, and Godzilla sleeps in the Colosseum in this like a giant cat bed. The director even said that his cat was a huge inspiration for Godzilla.
Took a picture of Mischief, and we were like, what if we had Godzilla laying like this, his tail's kind of sticking out the Colosseum? I talked to Yamazaki, the director of Godzilla -1, and it turns out that his cat is also his big inspiration for his approach to Godzilla.
Back to the Hollow Earth, Kong gets a toothache, so he literally goes up to the surface to visit the dentist. I'm not joking. Kong gets this super cool titanium tooth, which is even stronger than his old one, and heads back down to the Hollow Earth. Godzilla, in the meantime, is attacking nuclear power plants and absorbing all of the radiation that he can, as if he's preparing for a fight, which he is. Kong then goes to an even lower level in the Hollow Earth, like a hollower Earth, where, I don't know, they call this the subterranean level, and he immediately gets jumped by a bunch of other ape titans, seemingly the rest of Kong's species. So Kong finally meets more of his kind, only to be jumped and mugged by them. He makes quick work of them though, and even uses the baby monkey as a literal weapon, which was insane, but hilarious also. Kong wants the baby to take them to his leader, and they go on their own little journey to get there. This whole sequence in the film was honestly the best part. There's no dialogue for a solid 30 minutes between Kong and Baby Kong. I'm just gonna call him Baby Kong. And yet there's a whole story being told. They have a dynamic that I found quite similar to Kratos and Atreus if you've ever played the God of War games. Back to Godzilla, he is going after Tiamat, which is this serpent titan that guards a huge swell of radiation. So he kills Tiamat and starts to hibernate and absorb all the radiation, which is where he becomes Pink Godzilla. Godzilla has white eyes in these scenes, and I actually really liked it. It reminded me of the 50s and 60s Godzilla, which I thought was super cool. And cutting back to the Hollow Earth, Kong finds the lair of the Scar King, where there are many other monkey titans, but they seem to be slaves. This scene is very reminiscent of that one scene in Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, where Indiana sees them sacrificing the people. And I bet you're wondering, what are the humans doing this whole time? Well, they're exploring the subterranean level, where it turns out there's a whole civilization living there. These are the same people that we saw in Kong Skull Island in 2017. Kong then fights the Scar King and puts up a great fight, but the Scar King unleashes Shimo. Shimo is this cool Godzilla-like titan who has insanely powerful ice breath. Shimo gives Kong frostbite, forcing Kong to flee. He meets up with our human friends back at the Hollow Earth City, where it just so happens that they have a robot glove that's perfect for King Kong's right arm and even has built-in frostbite healing serum. Whew! Thank God they just had that lying around. After King Kong gets his cool arm upgrade, he heads up to the surface to recruit recruit Godzilla and to help him fight Scar King and Shimo. What follows is a badass rematch between Kong and Godzilla at the Pyramids of Giza. Godzilla even suplexes Kong, which was awesome. Kong puts his robot glove to use and is actually super overpowered. The fight is broken up by Mothra, our favorite queen of the monsters. They then team up to fight Shimo and Scar King in Brazil. In a super awesome fight scene, they free Shimo and Kong kills the Scar King. That's basically the movie in a nutshell. Overall, I had an amazing time with this one. Besides the two people sitting right in front of me on their phones the entire time, with full brightness, mind you, like if a 400-foot tall gorilla and a 400-foot tall lizard punching each other through the pyramids of Giza can't hold your attention, I literally don't know what can. There's nothing more awesome than that. Anyways, sure, there were some silly things in this film, like the reason Kong gets his glove, but they turn out to be super cool additions to the franchise that I found to be fun and kind of worth it. The only thing that concerns me about the future is the need for a better villain. If the humans can't be the antagonist and Godzilla has to be the good guy, then it's difficult to find a threatening bad guy for everyone to fight against. But I'll leave that there. Overall, I absolutely enjoyed this one. If I had to rate it, I'd give it another 3.5 out of 5 stars, purely for the badassery that I got to witness. Let me know what you guys thought of the film down in the comments below. And if you made it this far, I just want to say thanks for watching. I absolutely appreciate it. And consider hitting that like and subscribe button for me. Anyways, that's it for this review. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see all you guys next time.